Disclaimer: this is an impartial summary of the recent interview of Andrew with the BBC, and the following Tate statement regarding the interview. You guys should try to handle more carefully your time and work on yourself more. 2 hours spent on YouTube could very well be invested in yourself instead, building your life to a better standard than it currently is and helping your family. Remember, you can always do something better to improve yourself instead of getting stuck in a loop on watching what other people are doing in social media. To get back to the theme of the video, following we have the summarized version of the statement and interview. Andrew Tate, in an interview with the BBC, addresses the serious allegations against him, including rape and human trafficking. He asserts that he is innocent and denies all charges. He acknowledges his influential reach and suggests that the concerns lie in his level of influence rather than the content of his statements. While he admits to using emotional manipulation to persuade women to work in the webcam industry, he emphasizes that no women have come forward accusing him of such actions. He highlights that the ongoing legal case prevents him from discussing certain details and protecting himself legally. The interview delves into the allegations, with the interviewer presenting statements from Andrew's own website, where he allegedly admitted to emotionally manipulating women for financial gain. Andrew disputes these claims and challenges the credibility of the witnesses, stating that no new accusations have emerged since his arrest. He accuses the media of vilifying him and orchestrating a smear campaign. The interview also touches upon Andrew's controversial views on gender relations and his supposed harmful influence on children and women, as stated by children's organizations, rape organizations, and the police. Andrew denies these accusations, asserting that he is a good person and believes his impact on the world is positive. He claims that the majority of people agree with his views and criticizes the legacy media for lacking credibility. Andrew concludes by suggesting that he is being falsely portrayed as a dangerous individual due to his significant influence, and that organizations are attempting to suppress his message of critical thinking and empowerment. Tate mentions his belief in traditional religious values and argues that his views on marriage, such as a woman taking a man's last name, were widely accepted in the past. He clarifies that he discusses infidelity and reasons behind it for both men and women in his podcasts, rather than promoting it. Tate accuses the interviewer of lacking knowledge about his content and taking his statements out of context. He expresses his dissatisfaction with the BBC's approach, claiming that they have not made an effort to understand his influence or the positive aspects of his teachings. Tate defends himself against allegations of encouraging violence against women and explains that he emphasizes hard work, discipline, and respect in his teachings. He denies being responsible for the increased levels of misogyny in society and disputes the claims made by various organizations naming him as the cause. The interview becomes heated when the interviewer questions Tate about comments he made regarding women's intimate parts belonging to their male partners and entitlement to a cut of income from OnlyFans. Tate argues that these comments were taken out of context and that sarcasm and satirical content were involved. He urges the interviewer to watch the complete show to gain a better understanding. Tate insists that he respects women, provides for his girlfriend, and is willing to protect her. The conversation turns to the topic of authority in relationships, with Tate asserting that as a protector, he should have a say in ensuring his partner's safety. He clarifies that his view does not imply treating women as dogs, but rather acknowledges the responsibility he feels as a man to safeguard his partner. Tate believes that many women appreciate having a man who can protect them in dangerous situations. In the end, Tate expresses frustration with the media's portrayal of him and emphasizes that his views on traditional gender roles were widely accepted not long ago. He believes that despite the world changing, many people still hold similar beliefs. Tate suggests that most people at home watching the interview would understand and support his perspective. Andrew discusses his views on protection, conservative values, and the allegations surrounding his influence. When questioned about his statements causing concern in the UK, Tate emphasizes his belief in being a force for women and acting under the instruction of God. He denies any intention to harm and argues that his controversial statements have been taken out of context. Tate also highlights the positive impact he claims to have on young men's mental health and expresses frustration at being labeled misogynistic for discussing men's issues. He defends himself by pointing to the praise he receives from women for his teachings. The interview becomes heated as the interviewer questions Tate's motives and suggests a connection between his controversial statements and financial gain. Tate dismisses these claims, stating that his focus is on making the world a better place. He defends his charity work and asserts that he has always been involved in philanthropy. The conversation takes a turn when the interviewer brings up allegations of his followers bombarding women online with threats. Tate condemns such behavior and insists that he encourages open and respectful discourse. The interview concludes with Tate expressing his disappointment at the direction of the conversation and suggesting a more meaningful discussion about his unjust incarceration. Tate was asked regarding concerns about his influence on young boys in schools. He starts by asserting that he is a positive force in the world and teaches discipline to children regardless of their gender or age. He points out that a significant portion of his audience consists of females. While acknowledging his extensive influence, he also acknowledges the need to exercise caution with his words, especially given his elevated status. He cites an example of a joke he made on a podcast 5 years ago that he would no longer make today. The joke involved a reference to OnlyFans and was met with laughter at the time. However, he recognizes that making such jokes could have unintended consequences now that he is regarded as one of the most influential individuals globally. Despite this, he maintains that his original intentions were not to harm anyone. Towards the end of the interview, when asked if he believes he is the most influential man on the planet, he responds by stating that if one were to search for the most influential person, he would top the list in Google. The interview concludes on a cordial note, with the interviewer and the BBC team being unsatisfied with the interview tough, which was shown by refusing Andrew's handshake, and the video of the interview having many key points discussed being cut out of the video posted on YouTube by the BBC. Worth mentioning is that the longer uncut interview posted by a Drew Tate affiliate and fan accounts is being shut down on YouTube, causing a reaction from Andrew that decided to make a public statement for the interview. Andrew Tate issued a statement after his interview with BBC, expressing his disappointment with the media's approach and addressing several points. He criticized the media for focusing on old clips and taking a single sentence out of context, disregarding the positive aspects of his message. He emphasized that his jokes and statements from years ago should not define his entire worldview and that people understand satire and humor on the internet. Andrew Tate argued that the media's tactics not only waste everyone's time but also harm the minds of young men. He expressed concern about the extremist ideologies being propagated by the media, which he believes are damaging to the mindset of young men and go against his message of personal excellence and achievement. Andrew Tate highlighted the importance of men's mental health and criticized the media for their lack of genuine interest in addressing this crisis. He stated that he would no longer interact with legacy media outlets for free, as he feels they spread extremist views, and he wants to protect the minds of young men. Andrew Tate announced that his fee for future interviews with the legacy media would be $50,000, which he would donate to his organization called Tate Pledge, dedicated to feeding children in war-torn countries. He challenged the media to prove their credibility by contributing to a positive cause instead of spreading hate. Andrew Tate acknowledged that he had received requests for interviews from various media outlets, but made it clear that he would only consider speaking with those who pay his fee and provide a box of chocolates. He reiterated his commitment to doing good in the world and his belief that the truth will prevail regardless of the media's attempts to distort it.